Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Ozark Living, and today's video and topic, we're going to be talking about the transition or making the transition and some tips before moving to Lake of the Ozarks. Let's check it out. All right, hey guys, my name is Scott, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. And while you're here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell, because every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm dropping a new video telling you everything you need to know about moving to or living in Lake of the Ozarks. We're also a group of licensed lenders and agents, so as much as I love making these videos, I would love even more to help you with your lending or real estate needs, so that number popping up below. I am the guy who answers the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If there's a scenario or a question or something I can do to help you out, please don't hesitate, reach out, let me know what I can do. In the meantime, we've been talking to some folks about making the transition, purchasing here, and some of those tips and some things to think about before actually pulling the trigger. And the first tip, the number one tip, the most important tip that you should do before making the transition and moving, call me. So, easiest tip, easiest thing that I can give you. If you have questions, if you have concerns, just call me. The only thing you got to do is reach out, let me know, email me, text me, whatever that looks like. Your first tip, your number one tip, maybe the only tip that I need to give you. Call me. I'll help you.
Nice.
That's about the easiest video that I could ever do. I don't know what else to talk about. Anyway, just joking. Number one tip, obviously, hey, find some local people. If you're out of state, if you don't live here locally and you're looking at making a life change or making a transition, doing a move, purchasing owner-occupied, buying an investment home, a second home, a vacation home, short-term rental, whatever you're looking to do, hey, find some local people, reach out to them, ask questions, get connected. Another tip and something to think about, obviously, when you're making a transition, just like you probably would with anything, but do your research, right? Again, yes, reach out to some local people, but do some Googling, right? Do some research and figure out, hey, what are some of the costs of this area? And, you know, obviously we want to talk about the cost of homes and what that looks like and what your needs are, but what are the other costs, right? What's the cost of goods, the cost of fuel, the cost of other transportation, the cost of retail things? Like, you want to try to get a good feel of the cost and the environment that you're moving to. If you were living here and moving to Chicago or San Francisco or LA or something like that, you're probably going to want to do a research on the cost to live in that city. So do some research, figure out the cost of what it looks like to move here, and of course we can help you with that. Some other things to think about while you're doing your research is clearly you're going to be researching jobs and employment. Now, you might be in a situation where you currently work remotely, your job allows you to live wherever you want, you plug into, you know, laptops and computers, and you're hooked to Wi-Fi, and you're working, right? If you're not and you're looking for employment, then clearly you got to do some research on the cost of living here, but also what does jobs and employment look like? What type of skill sets do we have? What industry are we trying to get into? Talking to locals and figuring out the best ways to get connected to employment is something, of course, you're going to have to research. You're also going to look at things like weather, right? We're going to want to take a look at what the weather patterns are. If you're somebody that wants to be in a certain weather climate, you know, of course, we can talk about weather. If you're moving your family down here and you got kiddos and, you know, you're doing your research, of course, you're going to research the school districts. What kind of schools are we looking for? Again, private, public schools, Catholic schools, charter schools. You're going to do your research and understand what the schools are like. Other amenities that are around the lake and what is there to do. You know, we've got to do some research to figure out, hey, what do we enjoy doing with our family? And then ultimately, what does the Ozarks have to offer for our family? You're probably going to do some research on the crime in the area and what does that look like on different parts of the lake and certain things. So as you're looking at making the transition, whether you want to move down here permanently in an owner-occupied situation, if you're buying an investment, if you're buying a second home, doing that research is obviously that first step, right? And you can obviously reach out to locals and connect with them. You can jump online and research, again, the jobs in the area, the cost of living, the weather, the schools. You're going to want to do that research piece, of course, right? We're happy to help you with any questions or anything that you need, but make sure we're doing the research to figure out if this is the best spot for you. All right, and another tip to think about when you're making the transition or moving or doing anything is plan a trip. Come visit, come hang out with us. We would love to have you come into town. We can show you around. Obviously, depending on what you're looking for and what your needs are, would be conducive on where should you stay while you're here, right? We want to maximize your time. And sure, we want to have some fun, we want to do some things, but if you're making that transition and you're doing your research and you're doing your due diligence on figuring out all the information you need, we want to make sure that when you plan that trip, you are staying in the area that's probably the most conducive for you. So if you're looking about relocating and you want to find 5, 10, 20 acres of land, we might not want to make a trip and nestle into Osage Beach, right? If you're coming into town and because you want to very specifically look for condos and investments and high trafficked areas, then yes, we want you to be in the Osage area so we can maximize your time. So when you're planning that trip, reach out, let us know. We would love to make sure that you're staying in the area that's most conducive for what you're looking for, whether that's trying to find you a hotel, an Airbnb, you can stay at my house. It doesn't matter to me, right? We'll have a lot of fun, I promise you. So plan a trip, come visit, come hang out. We'd love to show you around. Another tip and thing to think about when you're making that transition, and maybe more or less once you get kind of committed to it. And even if you're committed, you might be a month or 6 months or a year away from making the transition. But I would encourage you to get plugged into the local scene. And there's some things that you can do with social medias and other groups that you can belong to, or you can subscribe to, again, different Facebook groups and these kinds of things. We can plug you into the local scene so you can start to gather more information. You can start to be a part of a scene. You can start to contribute. You can start to build community and build relationship, and you can do it from a distance. And I think it's a great way to learn about the locals, to, again, gather intel, gather information as you're thinking about, or even once you've committed to the decision to move. Hey, reach out, let us know. We would love to plug you into the Ozarks so you can continue to do the things you're looking to do, which is build community and build relationships and find your people when you get down here. All right, guys. So again, if you're looking at making the transition, if you're going through the process, if you're weighing pros and cons, we got to do the research, okay? So when starting with the research, my number one tip is just call me. Reach out, shoot me a call, shoot me a text, write me an email. I would love to have that conversation. Been having some amazing conversations with you. For all those that have been watching, I super appreciate you. It's a good feeling when you're reaching out and asking the questions, and I'm able to help in whatever way that could be. So call me and reach out. I would love to connect you into the local scene. And while you're at home and Googling and researching, right, let's take a look at the cost of the area. Let's take a look at the jobs, the weather, the schools, the amenities that are around here, crime, like whatever that looks like. We got to do our research and we can help you with that component. We would love for you to plan a visit. And if you're traveling in or you're visiting, let us know. Come to the house. We'll meet you at a restaurant. We'll jump on the boat. We can have some fun. But we also want to continue to do our research. So come down, let us help show you around. We can open up some doors, we can show you some properties, we can drive around to different communities. Of course, you can come over, we can jump on the boat, we can go surfing, we can go to lakeside restaurants. I promise you, if you want to come down and go surfing, I'm down. Come down, we'll jump on the boat, we'll go surf. But also, right, we'll find you some of the information that you're looking for. Hey, we also want to connect you to the local scene. So from a distance, we can plug you into different Facebook groups or other communities or other groups or other online platforms for you to build relationships, build community, and continue to gather more information. So as we continue, I say it all the time, right? We are licensed lenders and agents. I love making these videos. I love answering your questions. I love connecting you and helping you along the way. So if there's something that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. That number popping up below. I'm the guy who answers the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If there's a scenario or a question, or you want to come down and go surfing, whatever that looks like, hit me up, let me know. Until then, we'll see you on the next video.